God.
Damn plastic fetish. Crazy.
Oh, Mr. Don Lemon. Oh, Don. So
The most.
Don Lemon, a while back, we did a video talking about how Don Lemon was reprimanded by CNN for saying that a woman, he at the time he was talking about this political candidate. I forget her name off the top of my head, but y'all can go check that video out. He said that when you're in your 50s as a woman, you're not in your prime. Now,
Hmm.
it didn't seem like a big deal to me, but he was suspended by CNN for those comments. People didn't like what he had to say, and he was allowed to come back. However, I predicted when we did that video that Don Lemon would potentially be fired because I said that although CNN was allowing him to come back from his mistakes, there's a chance that the pressure for that not being an adequate enough punishment would be so severe that CNN would subsequently be pressured to get rid of him. Now, it isn't public the reason why they fired him. I'm speculating that has a lot to do with it. Um, and this is Conscious Approach, so we can wildly speculate on this channel. We are
You
not
damn right.
CNN.
You damn right.
But yeah, so like, and according to Don Lemon, he's stunned, flabbergasted that this happened. He was blindsided by it, right? He has no idea that this was headed his way. So we got a couple things here that we want to share for context purposes. So this is from USA Today. It says, "I am stunned. Don Lemon fired by CNN network disputes details." Don Lemon says he's been fired from his post at CNN this morning, which he co-anchored with Caitlin Collins and Poppy Harlow for about 6 months. The former anchor, who was on air Monday morning, shared the news in a statement on Twitter. "I was informed this morning by my agent that I have been terminated by CNN. I am
Damn.
stunned," he wrote. CNN CEO Chris Licht said in a statement that the network wishes him well and will cheer him on as he pursues future endeavors, echoing what he wrote in an email to CNN staffers obtained by USA Today. "To my CNN colleagues, CNN and Don have parted ways. Don will forever be a part of the CNN family, and we thank him for his contributions over the past 17 years," Lick said. He added, "CNN this morning has been on the air for nearly 6 months, and we are committed to its success." So no one knows why Don Lemon was fired officially. And, as a result of this situation, Don Lemon has been the butt of jokes over the past 24 to 48 hours.
Yeah.
Here is an example of him being the butt of some jokes. We got a video from the biggest boss, Rick Ross, who is offering Don Lemon an employment opportunity in light of him being unemployed because he was fired by CNN.
Just found out Don Lemon was terminated from CNN. Damn, Don. But guess what? The brothers got your back. We hiring at Wingstop. And for some reason, I believe you know what you're doing with them lemon pepper wings. So, man,
Mm.
send over your resume. Well, for 17 years. But I'm going to make sure I get you in front of the right grill, brother.
Oh man, Rose. I love it.
So yeah, that's a bit of a backhanded, dig from Rick Ross at Don Lemon. I told you Don Lemon sometimes pisses black people off. He's viewed as like an anti-ally because he used to get on his TV show and he would do segments holding black people accountable, and black people tend to not like that kind of stuff. So, in light of this taking place, people are taking the chance to, throw shots at him as Ross did in that video. So this is unfortunate, man, I think, in my opinion. But yeah, Don Lemon is out at CNN. And a lot of people are talking about this. So what are your thoughts on Don Lemon getting canned by CNN?
Well, you know, they're just cranking up the dial on cancel culture. Is what I think, and they're making examples out of people. And I think the Don Lemon situation here, he really didn't say anything crazy. I mean, it was in poor taste. And honestly, like we discussed the first time, what were you talking about? Her political prime? Because that's when people get in their prime. But if you're saying like, she's washed up because she's not, hot in her 30s, if that's what he was getting at, that's still kind of weird. But even then, even though it was in poor taste, it still wasn't highly offensive. I feel like I thought they were just going to send him to some sensitivity training.
They did. They did.
Well, I thought that was just going to be it. They publicly, reprimand him and then let him back on air. But for them to fire him after 17 years, that was deep, man. I was shocked by that. But, I've never really been a Lemon guy. He's always been a bit of a poser to me. He doesn't seem like a real person. When I first seen him, I was like, what lab did they bring this guy out of? He kind of looks like one of those characters from the Boondocks. I can't remember which one it was, but he looks like a drawn figure. And there's a couple people on CNN too that just look strange. But anyway, be that as it may, I just wasn't a fan of the guy. I felt like he wasn't, even if he was holding black people accountable, there was still this part of him that was very soy. I just could not get over. And I don't want to see anybody get fired, especially over some BS like that. But overall, I think that they're just pushing the envelope on cancel culture. So basically anything is a fireable offense. And that was a little bit, I don't even think that was serious. On a scale of 1 to 10 of microaggressions, I mean, goddamn, that's not even a 5. So for them to fire him over that, I think they're just setting a new standard for what people can get canceled for. So,
yeah, it was it paled in comparison to things that are actually offensive for sure. Right. And I do think that those comments are I'll put it this way: had he never said that, he would still be working for CNN.
Right.
Which is why I believe that is a big part of the reason why they fired him.
For sure.
And, the reason why I subscribe to the notion of such thing as cancel culture existing is not because of the social ramifications of quote unquote offensive content, because again, a lot of this stuff I don't think is offensive, but it's not about the social ramifications, but rather it's about the fact that an individual can be stripped of their livelihood for doing these things. That is what I call cancel culture. Mm-hmm. Because if someone ends up getting fired and now they're out of that paycheck and out of that livelihood and they work for it, they earned it through the work that they put in. It wasn't given to them. It wasn't some sort of inheritance. He didn't get to CNN because of nepotism. Like, he got there because of the work that he put in, coming up throughout the ranks in journalism and communication, or however he went to school or whatever. And for your livelihood in that way to be taken away from you because you said something that at the most is disagreeable, I do believe in the idea of the existence of cancel culture from that standpoint. I don't think it's cool that people getting fired for stuff like this. No. Unless it's truly reprehensible, people shouldn't be getting fired for stuff like this. So I hate the fact that he was fired because of what I believe to be the reason why he was fired. And I do think that the motivating factor behind him being fired is the comment that he made about women in their prime. And like you said, I think the only thing that he really did wrong was he did not clarify himself. Like, because, prime can mean many things: physical prime, political prime, intellectual prime, childbearing prime. So when you make these blanket statements talking about a woman in her prime and you don't qualify yourself specifically, you open yourself up to being ridiculed by the mob. And as we have seen several times before, if you're ridiculed by the mob loudly enough, you can end up getting fired. And my speculation was they're letting him come back, provided that he does whatever mumbo jumbo dog and pony show sensitivity training that he has to do. But the pressure to get rid of him is going to mount to the point where they're not going to have a choice but to find some kind of clandestine reason to can this dude. And that's what I think took place. And the only thing that I really have to say about this is, for all y'all out there who feel like justice was served because Don Lemon was fired from CNN, like, who do you look up to? Whoever you look up to, right? Whether you have a favorite actor or actress, whether you have a favorite athlete, if you're into art, let's say you have a favorite artist or sculptor, whatever thing that you are into, if you're into the business world, let's say there's a tech mogul who you admire, there's some business person, let's say that Warren Buffett is one of your role models or idols, whomever, right? Whoever you look up to and you say, wow, that's a person who, does great things and in their field or their crafts. I would like to emulate that one day. Please keep in mind that whoever that individual is, they probably have an opinion that you would find offensive.
Oh yeah.
Probably do. They probably have some opinion about some subject that you feel passionately about. And if they were to echo whatever their opinion is, you'd probably find it offensive. So what are you going to do at that point? You're going to want that individual canceled? Let's say you think that Michael Jordan is the greatest human ever. Michael Jordan probably has an opinion that you don't like about something. He probably does, because that's how the world is. People have different opinions about different stuff. So whoever it is that you like, they probably believe in something that you hate and that you find offensive. They do. They just do. So just know that in advance, because there's a good chance that your idol at some point in the future, if they haven't already done so, is going to say something that you don't like. And you better keep that same energy with these people that you keep with people like Don Lemon and Kyrie Irving and Gina Carano and Nick Cannon and everybody else who y'all want to cancel. Who else who else is out here trying to, attempting to be canceled? Cameron, Bob Saget, whoever y'all want to Tim Allen. Tim Allen is another one people trying to get rid of. Y'all don't like Tim Allen because he has conservative opinions. Like, keep that same energy. These people are probably going to say something that's going to piss you off. And if you want to cancel those people, you need to also cancel your favorite idol too, because you're so in love with getting rid of people for saying things that you don't agree with. So this is the world that we are living in. Yeah, they're definitely trying to push the envelope. The threshold for having to pay the highest penalty for saying disagreeable things now is so low that everybody on TV better be a robot. Just be a robot and don't have a mind of your own, because the price to pay for not doing so is too high. So yeah, we're living in draconian times. These are definitely the end times. We brought up the literature from previous generations that foretold this being the future. Again, I'll list them here. I encourage everybody to go back and purchase these books and read them. Some of y'all might need audio books because your attention span is too long for a real book. So you might have to go and download the Kindle version. But I encourage everybody to read 1984, Brave New World, The Fountainhead. Check these books out. Children of Men is another one, because we are living in these times where it's draconian law and opinion is silenced. And we are definitely not in a free speech society. I don't give a damn what the Constitution says. You are penalized for having opinions. And I don't think that that's the best thing in the world, but clearly the people have spoken, apparently, and this is what the people want. The people want everybody to get fired for saying stuff. So it is what it is.
Oh, well said, dude. And as you were mentioning, let me say this. So cancel culture is basically social engineering. And as you were mentioning, your favorite artist or whoever your favorite person is, and if they got an opinion you don't like, there's tons of corporate companies that do things that people don't like, and they don't cancel that. So, and these corporations and companies is putting pesticides in your food that's making y'all sick. Oh, so and so died of cancer. So and so died of cancer. Why are people getting cancer? They don't smoke. Oh, it runs in the genes. No, hey man, I'm not hearing that. The phenomenon is growing. People are getting sicker. And why? It's the food quality is getting crappier. Everybody knows these things is going on, but y'all ain't canceling that. Y'all still put y'all money in these people's hands, knowing damn well that they're using this money to fund your early demise. And so why fund it? Why go to these places? Y'all know, and for black people, y'all know everybody's racist. So why patronize these people? Why go to their thing? And so now when you get a racist experience when you go to Denny's, you know, oh, that was just that one Denny's. You're just gonna keep going, you know, you know. And it's just like, look, man, don't go places where you're not wanted. Don't fund operations that you think oppress you. But everybody's ready to cancel humans. And that's the social engineering of all of this stuff. They're focusing people's attention on canceling each other. So we're just talking about Don Lemon here, but these SJWs and anybody else that's sipping on woke light is running around here thinking that they have to be social justice warriors on the street and at work. You know, man, we can't even really put funny memes in the chat no more. Because you might offend somebody at work. You're going to get fired over a meme? So now people can't be as funny anymore. This is what comedians are complaining about. Yeah. And if you can't be funny, you're not touching a certain part in somebody that needs that laugh. And that's just for at work chat. So this ain't just Don Lemon. This ain't just whoever they're trying to cancel. And that's what I'm saying. They're pushing the envelope and they're pushing the line. You can't even say a woman's not in her prime. This is wild business, man. And so as you mentioned, this is all of those books. This is, you know, they make movies on these things. They trying to tell y'all what's going on and what's going to happen. And as it's happening, people are just going, okay, I guess I'll just get this ID now. Okay, I guess I'll just do this now. Okay, I'll just get that new phone now. Why? So at some point, people are going to have to realize that how everybody's getting played. That's black, that's white, that's Hispanic, you know, anybody foreigner, international who come to America, y'all getting played. So I think that this is just, again, one more example of social engineering, trying to get the people to funnel their attention on each other so people can turn on each other. Because as you mentioned, everybody's got an opinion that everybody don't like, you know, and I be kicking some shit on here, but I'm pretty sure people that be rocking with some of the things I say go, I don't know what the hell you talking about with that. And that's cool. Mm-hmm. Just like how you mentioned, man, we ain't running no coke. And so, you know, but yeah, man. So, but at the same time, if they want to cancel me just because of a unoffensive, somebody's personal opinion, this is wild. And so that's what I'm saying. So this is heightened. I don't like this. And even though I don't rock with Lemon, 17 years over a comment like that, jeez, bro. Yeah. So I'm sure he'll find work on another network, so he'll be all right.
I just hope that he doesn't get relegated to like podcast obscurity, where he goes from hosting a primetime news show on CNN to having a YouTube show, you know, because that would suck.
There's some guap on that now.
Yeah, but the fall from grace in that way, to me, is striking.
It is.
But yeah, it sucks. Yeah, I mean, I'm not about to get fired from my line of work because I was a quote unquote offensive in the Slack chat. Like you're not gonna get me on Slack. You know, saying something and somebody feels some type of way, and so now I'm being fired. Like, like the line between offensive and disagreeable has been eradicated. It no longer exists.
Mhm.
And we forgot that there is a difference between the two. And it's like something can be disagreeable without actually being reprehensible, but now we just conflate the two and we lump them all in the same boat. And so yeah, if you say that a woman is no longer in her prime, that's enough to have somebody. I don't even think he should have been suspended for something like this. But this is the climate that we're in where you have to get reprimanded, because you're fighting on behalf of who for a comment like that? Women? What did he do? And then what makes it even worse is what the mob will do if they don't if CNN doesn't punish Don Lemon. What the mob will now say is CNN is complicit with those comments, and so therefore CNN hates women, and CNN doesn't support or like women. That's what happens. You leap and make these generalized conclusions, and these companies and these corporations, they don't want to deal with this nonsense, so they'll just cut their losses and just fire somebody because they'd rather do that than try to be principled and stand up to this craziness because it's just not worth it. So yeah, I'm not trying to sit up here being same. Like I'm not trying to be like I'm not a Don Lemon apologist.
Right.
And look, and the thing is, like, I'm about what's reasonable. I don't agree with everything Kyrie Irving does and says, but I
Right.
don't want the man to get fired because he has an opinion that's disagreeable. That's ridiculous.
Exactly.
And so it's like, I'm going to be like, Kyrie Irving doesn't deserve to get punished for this, even though I can be someone who doesn't agree with everything he does. But there's just no, I don't know, man. I don't know whether it's maybe the food and stuff that you talked about earlier has an undocumented side effect of giving people smaller attention spans, and so now people no longer retain the capacity to disagree with something but still coexist with it. I don't know what the hell is going on out here. I just know that people are just losing their minds. They really are, and this is an example of it. So I personally, for the sake of what I don't like about this situation, hope that Don Lemon bounces back.
Yeah.
And that's
me
not
too.
because I admire his work. I just, on principle, hate stuff like this. I really
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
It's
He'll get back
disgusting.
out there. He'll get back out there.
Yeah, it's gross, man. It's disgusting. But hey, Lemon man, qualify your comments, man. Just qualify yourself. Because it's not, the price to pay is not worth it. These people will come for your throat.
Yeah.
It's wild. Oh boy.
I'm on.